Happy Monday, television family. We have returned for another exciting week of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Is it an exciting week? I guess we can make it that. It's the last full week in autumn. This is it. Yeah, and it's very autumnal outside. It's snowing, as you probably know by now. It started snowing lightly here in the valley about 3:30, right after I got up. Just a little bit of light snow. By 4 o'clock, it was coming down a little more intensely. By 4:30, it was snowing pretty good, and it snowed really good from about 4:30 till about 6:15 or so. And now it's starting to lighten up a little bit, but we were in the bullpen for the last couple of hours. A lot of accidents in our areas, highways and byways and side streets, just a lot of them. Now, the main arterials are okay because they laid down that brine that keeps the snow from sticking to the asphalt, and also the plows have made a couple of passes already on Chelan Street here in Wenatchee. If you have to go someplace today, wait a little bit because it's going to melt. We're going to be mid-30s anyway. And like I said, the snow is beginning to taper off even as we speak. But everybody's going, oh, snow. How do I drive in this again? We have a winter weather advisory remains in effect until 11 o'clock this morning. Forecast details are coming up. Passes, all things considered, aren't going to be too bad. You would think, hey, it's coming down here. It's got to be really coming down up there. It isn't really. We'll take you up to the major mountain passes as well. News, got that. Sports, Seahawks won 2 games in a row for the first time all year. It helps that they took on the Texans, who are one of the worst teams in the league. They took care of business and did so rather convincingly. We'll talk about that when we get to the Seahawks. Excellent weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. They seem to have gotten their act together. They beat Merritt and they beat West Kelowna. We'll talk about that in sports, plus all the high school results from over the weekend. We'll have everything else you need to start your day. And I wanted to replay this interview that we did about 2 weeks ago because I found it terribly fascinating. There's a brand new diversion program that's been underway in the Wenatchee Valley. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is teaming up with a couple of other agencies. They brought in Gonzalez to run the diversion program. It's for people who have significant troubles perhaps with the law, but they don't need to get tossed in jail or in a hospital. They need a different kind of help. Anna and Adam will explain that to you in the back half of the program. 3 minutes after the hour, I have no idea what kind of cameras we're going to look at today. My guess is we have a limited supply of things to look at because of the low bank and the clouds and the fog and the snow and the mud and the blood and the beer. I'm quoting Johnny Cash now. As you can see, Wenatchee Avenue, not too bad. There has been a lot of accidents this morning. This is if it's going to snow on a Monday, if it's going to snow on a weekday, might as well be a Monday. It's the lightest of the day. Of course, late start for the local schools, and a lot of people take Monday off. So you could have asked for a better morning to have snowfall that would make the area streets slick because the traffic is significantly lighter on Monday. Good morning to the Avenue. Don't know where we're off to. Camera 2. Well, that's the Cascadian. We're just going to turn right around and go the other direction, looking southbound down Wenatchee Avenue. Quite a bit of residual light. Sunrise isn't going to be up for a while yet. 7:40. Sunset 4:10. As I mentioned before, sunset's not going to get any earlier than 4:10. It gets to about 4:10 in the afternoon, and then that's kind of it. It's the sunrise that gets a little bit later. This will be the longest week of the year as we get ready to welcome the winter solstice, which is coming up 1 week from tomorrow. Camera number 3. Well, Arondo Rock chimes in. Again, we have to use some of our lower cameras so we can at least see something. And what we're seeing there is Lake Aniak, Turtle Rock, and Rocky Reach Dam off into the distance. It is a lot. That camera makes it look like it's a lot lighter than what it is. And camera 4. Hey, to the roof of our building. Let's see. I can see Uriah's truck. I can see Aaron's car. Hey, there you go. And yeah, as you can see, it is snowing considerably lighter now than it was just about 45 minutes ago. There was a period there for about 20 minutes between 5:30 to about just close to 6, where it was snowing pretty good. So it looks like it's already began to taper off. So there you go, from the roof of our building. Told you there's only so many cameras we can use. I don't want to gild the obvious lily, but I'm going to gild the obvious lily right now. There are slick roads and sidewalks all over north central Washington today. Again, they've been toning out a lot of traffic accidents in our area. People just aren't getting used to driving in the snow. Again, if you want to wait, if you can wait to run your errands, if you can wait a few hours, the roadways will improve greatly as the plows go out and get the job done and the snow begins to taper off. But just a heads up, it is slick out there. Now, as far as the rest of the week is concerned, the one thing we're keeping an eye on is it's going to get pretty chilly. It's going to be, we're going to see overnight lows perhaps even in the teens by the time we get to the middle of the week. So most of the snow accumulations are all but done here in the Wenatchee Valley, and even the passes are going to be okay. We'll take you to the passes in just a little bit. So mostly mountain snow today. We're not going to get any real measurable snow, we don't think, until we get to the weekend. Now, there is a very good chance of more measurable snow for the last weekend in autumn coming up this Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday. That's the chance of even more snow than we've had this morning, and it is going to get rather chilly. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Again, we have a winter weather advisory. It will expire before noon today. The snow is already, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley, beginning to lighten up a little bit. We'll get up to about 36 degrees, 26 for the overnight low tonight. The snow level tonight is going to go down to 800 feet. That's us, that's here. But that system that's bringing us the snow is already, will have petered out by then. Sunshine on Tuesday with some light wind, 35. But look at the overnight low, 20. Going to get chilly. Overnight low Wednesday with a chance of light snow, 21, with a high below freezing. Thursday, we'll be lucky to get to 35 or 36 with sunshine. So again, we have intermittent light snow, almost imperceptible really, and then it just melts away without too much difficulty. Overnight lows are going to get chilly. We have a pretty good chance of some measurable snow on the valley floor Friday night and right on into Saturday. In fact, Saturday morning, we could see more snow than we're seeing right now. So it's the last week of autumn, and it's certainly going to feel that way. To the mountain passes we go. Your pass report brought to you by D.A. Davidson, the strength of a trusted partner and personalized solutions to meet your financial needs. Member, SIPC. Live shot at Stevens. There's not a car on the darn road there. Chains are required, both directions on Stevens Pass, unless, of course, you have all-wheel drive. It is snowing with compact snow and ice on the roadway. Again, chains are required. Blewett is okay. Traction tires are advised. It's snowing on Blewett, but not real hard. In fact, I'm seeing some asphalt there. Traction tires are advised. The roadway is mostly bare and wet. The last 3 or 4 miles on either side of the summit is when things might get a little dicey. And speaking of dicey, I-90, as has been the case, it's snowing hard. Visibility is a little on the iffy side. Right now, it's a traction tire requirement. Traction tires are required on I-90. Now, the snow is supposed to be tapering off as the day progresses. They're only going to get about another inch or so of snow, maybe 2 before this day is over. And then just light snow tonight and Tuesday, an inch here, a couple of inches there Tuesday night, a couple of inches Wednesday, a couple of inches on Wednesday night. So they had a whole bunch of snow come down Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and a little bit on Sunday, but the snow is starting to taper off in the Cascades. Again, traction tires are required on I-90, advised on Blewett, and chains are required this morning on Stevens Pass, but things are going to improve as the day progresses up in the mountains, as for you travelers, just like it is down here in the Wenatchee Valley. All right, news, we have a lot of news. It was a busy weekend, and we'll let you know what happened over the weekend with your headlines. It's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Direct from Las Vegas, Holiday Dreams, a spectacular holiday cirque. Experience holograms, interactive lasers, projection mapping, and a cast of international cirque performers on one stage. Experience the futuristic holiday show everyone's talking about. Make new memories with your family this holiday season and experience Holiday Dreams, a spectacular holiday show, live in concert.
I'm Dr. Malcolm Butler. I'm a family physician here at CVCH, and I've been a family physician here for the past 28 years. For 25 of those years, I've been the chief medical officer, and now I get to return to my first passion, which is the delivery of primary care. I'm looking forward to welcoming you and your family to join me as I practice 3 days a week in our 600 Orondo building in Wenatchee.
Ten minutes after the hour, the snow is beginning to lighten up. By the way, if you haven't been outside yet, it's a very wet snow, a lot of moisture content in the snow. It'll all be done here in the next half hour to 45 minutes. We'll get up to about 35 today, sunshine, and about 35 tomorrow. Overnight lows will be dipping down into the teens, and the next round of snow for the valley expected Friday night into Saturday. We begin with this story. Wenatchee police reported pulling over a suspected drug dealer on Thursday night and then seizing more than 1,500 fentanyl pills and about 20 grams of heroin. The Wenatchee Police Department say they were assisted in the arrest by East Wenatchee Police. 39-year-old Justin Michael Embry of Wenatchee booked into the Chelan County Jail on charges of possession with intent to sell a controlled substance, that's the fentanyl, and possession with intent to sell a controlled substance for the heroin. A 33-year-old Yakima woman was killed after being struck by a car while walking along State Route 97 in Omak. This happened Saturday night. According to the Washington State Patrol, Melissa A. Caceres was walking southbound on the shoulder of the highway just after 5 p.m. on Saturday night when she walked into the southbound lane of the highway, and she was struck by a 1998 Ford Escort being driven by 32-year-old Robert A. Funston of Wenatchee. Funston's Escort was then struck from behind by a 1996 Ford Explorer being driven by 51-year-old Jose Murillo Figueroa of Okanagan. Now, Caceres was pronounced dead at the scene. Figueroa was treated at Mid-Valley Hospital with minor injuries. The State Patrol said no charges will be filed against either driver. The rate of new COVID-19 cases in Chelan and Douglas counties has remained largely unchanged over the past few weeks. In its weekly thermographic report that came out Thursday, the Chelan-Douglas Health District said as of last Monday, 1 week ago, new cases were at 322 per 100,000 residents over the last 2 weeks. That's up slightly from the 317 new cases in this November 29th report. But by Friday morning, the new case rate had fallen to 316 per 100,000 residents over the previous 2 weeks. Now, as of Thursday, there were 27 patients being treated for COVID-19 at Central Washington Hospital. Of those, 21 were listed by Confluence Health as not being fully vaccinated. There were 5 patients in the hospital's ICU, 4 of them listed as not being fully vaccinated. Columbia Valley Community Health CEO David Olson is going to retire at the end of the year after leading the Wenatchee-based healthcare provider for the last 5 years. CVCH Chief Operating Officer Manuel Navarro will serve as interim chief executive when Olson departs. The CVCH board praised Olson for his efforts to grow the organization's number of providers, expansion of services in the Chelan Valley, and the establishment of CVCH's Substance Abuse Disorder Program. The East Wenatchee Water District has extensively modified its rates and its billing system, and starting in the first of the year, customers will be reclassified into residential, multifamily, commercial, industrial, and irrigation categories. And when bills used to be payable every 2 months, the district will now bill its 10,000 customers each month. The smallest residential hookups will pay a $41 base rate, plus additional charges per 100 cubic feet of water consumed. Now, the charges follow a study carried out by FCS Group to examine the district's rate structures and efficiency. Finally, this morning, the Wenatchee City Council got down to business on Thursday night. First of all, they swore in their 2 new members, Top Rojastein and Mike Poyer, freshly elected last November. Incumbent Keith Huffaker also sworn in for a 3rd full term. They will officially take their seats in the first meeting of the new year. The council also agreed to a $100,000 2-year contract with Wenatchee Rescue Mission to establish a 20-bed low-barrier shelter to aid the city's homeless population.
One of the primary impetus was to establish low-barrier shelters to look at our addressing the unsheltered population, which in the summer count was 98 persons. We know going into this that we needed multiple providers, multiple locations in order to meet that count, meet that need. The proposal is to operate a 20-bed low-barrier shelter. 5 of the beds will be held empty for law enforcement referrals, so East Wenatchee and Wenatchee both would have the ability to bring folks who are in need to the shelter. It's a 24-hour facility, has food as well. Case management would be progressive but not required, and this would begin officially under the contract under January 1st.
We're very excited to start this, and my hope is to increase those beds. Actually, once I'm in there and see how we're going to run it, is to bring in cots and things like that to help even more so. I have been out working with people that are in the motorhomes and in the encampments, talking about the low barrier shelter, talking about their situation, and what the inevitable, what's going to happen to them, should they continue there. Also letting them know to keep it clean, because that's one thing that they're not doing very well at the moment. They do have 2 leaders of the group that I talk to often. So I'm going out every week doing that. So part of the little barrier too is I was able to get one of the motorhomes off the street. He is now living in his motorhome on our property, however, and being case managed, and eventually going to go back home, which is not here in Wenatchee. So that looks like in February. But we are trying to make more room to get some of them off the street that want help.
That's what's making headlines on this snowy Monday morning. We'll be back at it again with, I think, a pretty busy day in the bullpen. Well, I guess we'll find out together at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant Olson in the anchor chair. I'll be handling sports again today because Eric is on assignment. And with a preview of tonight's news, here's Grant Olson.
Good Monday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have the latest Wenatchee Valley real estate snapshot from Pacific Appraisal Associates. Wet weather today and then cooler temperatures as we head through the week. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Dan has a wrap on all the weekend's prep, college, and pro sports action. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget, we love to hear from you. So if you got a news tip, you want to drop us a note and say hi, we try to make it as easy as possible. Look at the bottom of your screen there. You can go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, our website, and click on the Contact Us icon. Pretty self-explanatory. 17 minutes after the hour, Seahawks win 2 in a row for the first time all year. We'll talk about the Seahawks. Good weekend for the Wenatchee Wild as well, and the weekend that was in high school sports. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Eighteen minutes after the hour in sports. Good day for Russell Wilson. He threw for 260 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Seahawks win consecutive games. For the first time this season, it was Russell Wilson's 89th game with 2 touchdown passes or more, and that means he passed Dan Marino for second most such games in a player's first 10 years in the NFL. Peyton Manning, by the way, is first with 92. The off-injured Rashard Penny had one of the best games of his career, rushed for 137 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns. Afterwards, Penny heaping praise on his offensive line.
I'm just blessed and thankful. I mean, you know, these guys never gave up on me. Go out to practice every day and just keep working. And this is the results. And I'm just thankful. I mean, the O-line deserves this more than I do. I mean, them guys went out there and moved the defense line all game, and, you know, they controlled the game. It was just all about the running backs hitting the holes and, you know, pressing and doing all the right things.
Needless to say, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll was pretty happy for Mr. Penny, too.
Great day to see Rashad Penny come out like that, and we're so happy to see that. We've been waiting, and you all have been waiting too, the guys that follow us around, and thrilled to see that he really got loose, and you could see how the explosion and the playmaking that he's got in him. It was, you know, on full display today.
One more note, Pete Carroll earned his 150th regular season victory as an NFL coach. Next up, they'll be in Los Angeles to take on the Rams Sunday afternoon on Fox. The Seattle Kraken rallied with 3 goals in the third period on Friday night, capped by Vince Dunn's wrist shot with 4:06 remaining to pull even at 4-all. And, well, it didn't quite work out the way they wanted to. Seattle scored twice in 22 seconds early in the third period. Jaden Schwartz deflecting Jonas Donski's shot at 3:41. Moments later, Morgan Geekie snapped a wrist shot off a pass from Mason Appleton to pull Seattle within 4-3. Jared McCann added his 11th of the season in the second period for Seattle, so the Kraken earned a point, but they didn't get the victory. They lost in overtime to Columbus. Here are your highlights.
The outside, Schwartz a give back for Donskoy, who sets up Giordano. He'll walk it. Look for a lane. Donskoy with a shot. He scores!
Get a better look at it right here. Here's Schwartz jumping into the way, it looks like it may have gone off the backside of Schwartz going into the net.
Well done. Donskoy still looking for his first goal of the season, but he initiates the scoring play. Let's see where it goes from here. Geekie's right in. He scores! That's where it goes! Morgan Geekie, the Kraken within 1.
Get too excited within the game. Yes, you brought yourself back, but you have to continue with it. You get one more look at Geekie flying it.
Knocked down. Kelly Arncroke goes wide. He stops on a dime and lays it back for Larson. To the outside, done with a shot. He scores! Who has the puck. Max Domi, who has 2 goals tonight out there for Brad Larson. And the Blue Jackets for a check on the exchange. Bean with a shot. He scores! Jake Bean goes stick side on Philip Grubauer, and the Blue Jackets win it in overtime.
Tough loss for the Kraken on Friday night, but the Wenatchee Wild, they scored early and often, and they won both games north of the border over the weekend. On Saturday, 2 goals in the first period and 3 in the second gave the Wild a comfortable 5-1 lead, and they cruised to a 7-1 victory over Merritt. 7 different Wild players accounted for the 7 goals. And then yesterday afternoon, Wenatchee scored 3 times in the first period, including a shorthanded goal. They would eventually take a 4-0 lead, and they kept West Kelowna on their side of the ice for most of the day, and they skated to a 4-1 victory. The Wild improved to 5-10-5. They now return to the Town Toyota Center for their longest homestand of the season. They have 3 games against Merritt this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then they welcome Prince George on New Year's weekend. Let's wrap up the weekend that was in high school basketball with the Les Schwab scoreboard. High school sports, girls basketball on Friday. Eastmont traveled to Spokane and knocked off Shadle Park 47-39. Ellensburg, that is not a misprint. Ellensburg defeated Moses Lake in girls basketball Friday night 53-12. Cashmere is playing good. They're undefeated. They beat LaSalle 54-26. And Waterville Mansfield knocked off Bridgeport in girls basketball Friday night 62-46. Boys basketball on Friday night. Eastmont completed the sweep at Shadle Park 87-76. Cashmere knocked off LaSalle 64-44. Ellensburg completed the sweep of Moses Lake. They beat the boys 77-62. And Bridgeport knocked off Waterville Mansfield 59-38. Girls basketball on Saturday from our friends at Les Schwab. Eisenhower knocked off Eastmont easily 65-23. West Valley over Wenatchee 50-38. Moses Lake beat Sunnyside 52-49. Chelan over LaSalle 58-21. Omak over Manson 58-40 in girls basketball Saturday. And Waterville Mansfield got by Soap Lake fairly easily. As far as boys basketball on Saturday, Eastmont got the better of the Cadets 75-45. West Valley knocked off Wenatchee in a kind of a romp there. Moses Lake beat Sunnyside in boys basketball Saturday night 52-40. Chelan over LaSalle 65-37. Lakeside over Quincy by 1. And Manson knocked off Omak. Women's college basketball over the weekend on Friday. Washington defeats Seattle U 77-59 in women's college basketball. Women's scores on Saturday. Washington State got by Boise State. Gonzaga beat Stephen F. Austin, by the way. I didn't put the score down. Sorry about that. 64-54. And men's college basketball on Saturday, in case you missed it, a 3-pointer at the buzzer. South Dakota State upsets the Cougars in Spokane 77-74 on Saturday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this December 13th. The obscure holiday just in time for the holidays, National Coca Day. Now, we here in the Americas, we kind of interchange hot chocolate and hot coca. They're really not the same thing, of course. To make chocolate, you have to do a bunch of stuff, as opposed to coca, which is the plant essentially. By the way, pure coca powder is pretty good for you. It has very little fat and very little calories. But what we do is we put whipped cream and marshmallows and other stuff in it to make it not so healthy. Thank you to the Mayans. They're credited with figuring out that this might be something that might be edible and drinkable, and they did that over 2,000 years. It worked its way through Mexico, then to the New World, and then back across the Atlantic, and there you go. There are numerous health benefits to drinking a nice little cup of hot cocoa. It has lots of antioxidants and stuff like that. But again, we have a tendency to really interchangeably use the term hot chocolate and hot cocoa. Either way, warms your tummy, makes you feel good, and of course, it's a staple around most holiday tables this time of the year. It's a perfect winter drink. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, happy 385th birthday to the National Guard. Yeah, it predates the Army, the Navy, all of them. December 13th, 1636, the Massachusetts Bay Colony organized 3 militias. The Pequot Indians were getting a little peed off about what was going on, and the Pequots started to cause some trouble, and they realized they really needed to defend the colony against the Native Americans, and so they organized 3 militias, which is considered the birth date of the National Guard. They did 3. There were already regiments, but they were not organized. There were militias that didn't. They were kind of scattered about and did their own thing, and they said, no, we need to be organized if we're going to defend ourselves against the Native Americans, and so they did. Every white male between the age of 16 and 60 were required to possess arms and take part in the defense of their communities, thus became the National Guard, which is 385 years old today. 49 years ago today, Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt began their 3rd and final moon, well, it wasn't a moon walk. They drove an ATV. Yeah, the footage is great, driving around in the ATV on the moon. That must have been a blast. They drove around on the ATV, Apollo 17. The ATV, by the way, is still up there. They drove the ATV around, got some rock samples. Pretty cool. We've left a lot of garbage up on the moon, by the way. Of course, Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt are the last 2 people to ever set foot on the moon. We're supposed to go back. Why, I don't know. 27 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. We don't normally do first ladies, but Mary Todd Lincoln is an exception. Of course, she was married to Abe, born in the state in 1818. Of course, her family were Southerners. And there were always those rumors that Mary Todd Lincoln herself was sympathetic to the Confederacy during the war. It's really not true. She had a very bad life. For one thing, seeing your husband shot to death is probably not a very good day. She had 4 boys. Only one, Robert Todd Lincoln, survived to adulthood. Edward Baker Lincoln, known as Eddie, died at the age of 4 from tuberculosis. Willie died of typhoid fever at the age of 12 while Lincoln was president. And Tad Lincoln died at 18 after Lincoln had been assassinated from things we don't know. After Abraham Lincoln, her husband, was shot and killed right in front of her, Mary Todd Lincoln wore black and only black for the rest of her life. Mary Todd Lincoln, born in the state in 1818. Dick Van Dyke is 96 years old today, the recipient of 5 Primetime Emmys, a Tony Award, a Grammy Award. He's in the Television Hall of Fame, and he's still out there working, 96 years old. Happy birthday to Dick Van Dyke. And she's done okay for herself. Taylor Swift. Happy 32nd birthday to Taylor Swift, the pride of Pennsylvania. 28 minutes after the hour, we have an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McDonald coming up. And then we're going to talk again about that diversion program that really caught my attention. It's a new way to figure out how to handle people who are in mental health crises without just throwing them into jail or tossing them into a hospital. It's an important program. It was launched by the Chelan County Commissioners with other law enforcement agencies. You're going to hear from Anna Gonzalez and Adam Musgrove. Anna is the heads up the diversion program. Adam Musgrove is the chief of patrol for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. They're both coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent at Springwater Insurance Group. And at Springwater, we really enjoy being independent because what that means is is that we become an educator and a teacher for Medicare plans, in fact, all plans. So if you have questions about perhaps changing your coverage, going to a new plan, at Springwater Insurance Group, we can teach you all your choices. And we give you the option, would you like to give us a call, maybe have a Zoom meeting? Whatever way works best for you, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
ColorFX has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. ColorFX has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call ColorFX in Cashmere today.
Happy holidays from your friends at Wenatchee Power Sports. Come in today and check out our inventory of Polaris snowmobiles, accessories, and apparel. We also carry a large selection of snow gear from FXR, Climb, BCA, and more. The entire Wenatchee Power Sports team is dedicated to keeping our inventory stocked as we continue to provide a level of customer service that's second to none. From dirt bikes and utility vehicles to snowmobiles and watercraft, we have you covered for every season. Your adventure begins here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, the neighbor of a family member recently died of COVID. The deceased was a parent. They refused their spouse's pleas to get vaccinated, and they caught the virus from another unvaccinated visitor to their home. After weeks in the hospital, this person died. Now, you can deny the existence or seriousness of COVID. You can argue about the efficacy of the vaccine or the booster shots, or claim that Jesus frees you from fear so you can thumb your nose at all this. Now, feel free. This is America. But people are dying. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow. We have live bands to rock the night away, comedy to make you laugh, and if that's not enough, we have poker every Monday and Wednesday night. Club Crow in Cashmere has it all. Check out our Facebook event page for dates and times. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is a program that was launched late summer on September 1st. Hopefully it'll expand to all the law enforcement agencies that have general jurisdiction in this area. We hear about it all the time, people who are having mental health issues, and they end up landing in the laps of law enforcement, and that's oftentimes maybe not the best way to address it. But there's a brand new diversion program for those people who are suffering from those issues, and it launched on September 1st with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office as the lead agency, and the coordinator of all that is joining us here on the program. Anna, introduce yourself to our television family.
Hello, my name is Anna Gonzalez. I am a local and native to Wenatchee Valley. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I've been in the social services field for the last 7 years. I was previously designated as a crisis responder, so I have that background and have experience with children and families and chemical dependency.
And now you're riding around with various Chelan County Sheriff's deputies and patrol officers responding to people who are having mental health crises.
Correct.
And what's the definition of that? How do you know that your services are now needed when the call comes through? When is it like, okay, got to get Anna on this?
You know, sometimes it's not very obvious. It could be as obvious as somebody's having a bad day and they need someone to talk to, or I've gotten phone calls from law enforcement saying, hey, I'm coming across this individual that's just having a hardship. What can we do? And that could be getting some gas, finding a gas voucher, finding resources to housing, chemical dependency treatment, you name it. It's just anything that you can think of that an individual needs to have their basic needs met, I'm there.
So obviously there is a need for this diversion program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what's the overall goal of this? Is just to take care of these people and steer them in the right direction, just keep them out of jail and get them to the help that they need?
Yeah, the goal, one of the goals that we've identified is obviously helping these individuals, diverting them from jail or higher level of care, which would be the ERs, and getting them to treatment or any resource in the community to get their basic needs met. And then obviously identifying any gaps of where individuals struggle to find services and kind of bringing that back to the community and treatment providers and saying, hey, this isn't working for our folks here.
I got to ask it, drugs. Where does drugs come in all this?
I mean, we've got frequent calls for that. You know, we have individuals who are suffering from mental health disorders. We have individuals suffering from substance use, and then we have individuals who are suffering from both. So it's a high population of people that we get.
You got a grant, a $90,000 grant, and you were hired by the Chelan County Commissioners to take over this diversion program. So from September 1st now, is it working out? Are you still baby steps? Where are we with this?
I think we're still in infancy stages, but we're definitely gaining a lot of momentum. With that grant funding, we're going to add another position for a mental health professional to join us and to just to be able to expand our outreach and services to the individuals of Chelan County.
Are you busy?
Absolutely.
A lot going on?
Lots going on.
Is it busier than you hoped it would be?
I think,
if that makes sense?
Yes, I think I knew, you know, I've been in the field for the last 4 years working with law enforcement, so I've known how busy it can be, and it can get busier. It's just dependent on weather, season, and it's just a new experience every day.
When we take a quick break, we're going to talk to Adam Musgrove, who's the Chief of Patrol for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, to give us a law enforcement perspective in all this. Give me a typical. Is there such thing as a typical call when you're going to hop in the car with Adam and you're going to go make this call? Give me a typical situation where your services are required.
You know, we do proactive outreach, so it could be us just identifying individuals in the community on the street, saying, hey, you know, I've recognized you. I know you through the community. Is there anything that we can we do to help? Then there's also that reactive piece. So we're in the cars, we get a call that sounds like, you know, it may benefit from having a mental health professional come to the scene, and we would go, and it just can be from anything. Like I said, it could be just talking to an individual about kind of where they're at in their day, or, you know, we've had to the point where we've had people barricaded in their vehicles. So there's no typical day, and you never know what you're going to get.
And yet it landed on your lap. Is that because somebody is calling Rivercom and saying, there's a guy walking down the street with his shirt off and he's talking to himself, that kind of deal?
Yeah, and it could be, it could go through Rivercom. We've also I get other reports from law enforcement agencies and deputies saying, hey, I came across this individual, let's pass it on to Anna to follow up on this individual. So yeah, definitely Rivercom, anybody calling for emergency or non-emergency.
You're 4 years into, this particular program again started on September 1st, but you've been doing this professionally for for 4 years. Why? What brought you to this job? What is it about it?
You know, I just through my time in working in the Valley, I just realized the need and the support that our community needs, and I got really attracted to crisis response and just de-escalating individuals and meeting people where they're at. And then I realized that I really liked the field work. I belong in the field. I belong, listening to other people and bringing hope and just any support that I can do when they are telling me that they are at their worst, and just seeing that fall through and have them be connected to the services that they need. That keeps me going. This is a thankless job. We don't do it for the kudos. We do it because we want to help other individuals.
What's a good day for you when the day is over? What's a good day?
I think a good day would be that I was able to utilize all of my knowledge and resource to support not only the community, but also the deputies, and just having that partnership and getting individuals connected to services that they need.
And do the local services, they're obviously well aware of it. I mean, you have to have a good relationship with them, assuming Catholic Charities and some of the other agencies such as that.
Yeah, and that's been something that's been really beneficial, just being a local. I've known, you grow up with a lot of individuals, and just working in the field in this area, I've developed a lot of community partnership. And part of my initial stages when I transferred over to Chelan County was calling those resources and letting them know, hey, we're here for you guys. We're here to support you in whichever way, from Leavenworth to Chelan, just any agency in between. We're here for them.
Anna, I appreciate you coming by, and keep up the good work. I hope you have a couple of days along the holiday season that are really boring for you. Playing a little solitaire with a minesweeper or something. It's not going to happen. The need is there. From a patrol standpoint, a law enforcement standpoint, they have to deal with these calls on a regular basis. We're going to talk to Adam Musgrove, the Chief of Patrol from Chelan County Sheriff's Office, when we come back. You're watching Wake Up and Nation. When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Bear Foods is the small town store with the big time inventory. Join the growing movement to better nutrition with everything you need to improve your well-being. Bear Foods is more than a health food store. It's your good food store in downtown Chelan.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
D&L Army Surplus in Wenatchee is stocked with items for the whole family, from ammo to collectibles and so much more. D&L Army Surplus, your one-stop shop for military surplus, survival, camping, and tactical gear. Bring the whole family and stop on by today.
Now, am I looking into this camera, or am I looking, where am I looking?
We're gonna have you just look at it.
The holiday season is coming, and Santa's making his 15-second commercial for NCW Life Channel. Are you?
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Well, we heard from Anna, who is handling the new diversion program that has been launched by the Chelan County Commissioners, funded with grant money. From a law enforcement perspective, Adam Musgrove is joining us. He is the Chief of Patrol for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. And first of all, thanks for joining me. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We talked about this off camera, but the two calls that law enforcement agencies and patrol and especially first responders hate the most is domestic violence and mental situations, because you don't know what's going on until you get there. you guys are the first ones who are responding to these Rivercom calls.
Right.
Is this an uptick? Is this a problem?
Oh, absolutely. So people always ask me all the time, what is the number one problem facing law enforcement? And consistently, they always ask me, is it domestic violence? Is it drugs? What is it? And without hesitation, my answer, 100%, the number one problem facing law enforcement is mental health issues. We may not deal with somebody on drugs every single day or deal with a domestic every single day, but we will absolutely deal with someone who is in crisis, who is having mental health issues every single day. And so it is our number one problem that we're facing in law enforcement.
And how do the folks who are out on patrol who serve under you, how do you handle those things? There has to be specialized training involved in this, because you got to keep your head when all those about you are not.
Absolutely. They are very volatile type of situations. With all of the new legislative changes that have come down the line this year, one of the things that it addresses is de-escalation. And so with that, our program now is designed to specifically address these issues of mental health and getting our deputies trained. And that's why we're embedding folks like Anna and her team into the patrol cars to get out there and take a different approach to it. Traditionally, it's always been a issue of where we deal with somebody who's in crisis or having mental health issues. We do one or two things. We either take them to the hospital or we take them to the jail, and we drop them off and we put them in somebody else's lap and essentially wipe our hands with it and be done with it. But as a patrol sergeant at the time, I remember going out and people, even victims out on these calls, were saying, this person doesn't need to go to jail. This person needs help. And it just started really, clicking with me. It's like, well, these are victims of crimes of something that just happened with these folks, and even they want to see these folks get help. And so it just kind of started, hitting in my head there. It's like, we need to solve this problem and not just pass the buck on to somebody else. And so that's kind of where we're.
Do you think this whole program will break that vicious cycle? Do you think this is an answer?
Absolutely, I believe wholeheartedly. We have a Deputy Zach Bruner, who is very passionate about this, who used to work on my squad when I was a sergeant, and got together with him, and we were working together with Anna when she was. With Catholic Charities, and we started, putting our heads together and getting that team together with law enforcement and getting them actually out on the calls, and it is making a difference getting it out there. And Anna has become a broker for services and actually getting that help. So rather than going to jail or going to the hospital, we're actually able to get those folks the services they need. So we're hoping that by us doing that. In the valley here, that we're actually solving the problem. We're actually getting to the root of what's going on and doing our part to actually, solve this issue. And that in turn is going to affect the entire county and the whole valley.
As a fully commissioned law enforcement officer, I know there's no typical call. There never is on any call, regardless of really what it is. Give me an idea. You get a call. This person's having a serious mental health crisis. I'm spitballing here, but correct me if I'm wrong. My guess is you come in first and de-escalate. You talked about de-escalation, and then you slowly work Anna into the conversation, and everything's calmed down, and then we can start. Now we can take this person to this particular. Is that a typical idea of how this works?
It is. Prior to July 25th, that was how it was done. With the change in legislation and how our hands as law enforcement officers and deputies has started to get hindered a little bit on how we can go do that. And by that I mean by our mere presence, we could escalate a situation into something where all of a sudden now, by us being there, we've escalated to using force. And so we are trying to avoid those types of situations now, and the legislation with de-escalating things has become so important that now, where, as you just described, we would go there and kind of de-escalate the situation when possible, it can't always be done that way. And so now the roles have kind of reversed, and folks like Anna and her team, or EMS, or fire, when they come onto a scene, we have to kind of be off to the side now and let, because our mere presence could be escalating those types of things. It's not what we want to do. It's the way that our hands have now been tied to do that. But with the teams coming in, we just need to be near the scene, be ready to be reactive, unfortunately. But we do our very best and try to train with the teams that are coming out there to try to find a new resolution on how we're going to handle these calls.
As we mentioned before, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is the lead agency in all this, and this was funded with a $90,000 grant that they got to get the program up and running. How does this interact with the other law enforcement agencies? Wenatchee Police, East Wenatchee Police,
Yes.
Douglas County Sheriff, that group.
So with Anna, just a little history on Anna. When she was with Catholic Charities, she was there and she had great ideas over there, and she wasn't able to fully, she wasn't able to do everything that she wanted to do there. And so she talked to me and the other agencies about her potentially leaving, and we didn't want to lose her as an asset here in the Valley. And so working with Commissioner Overbay, who is a big proponent of this program.
Being in former law enforcement, you can understand that.
Absolutely. And went over and spoke to him, said we cannot lose her. And so we gave a proposal to the county commissioners to create a position over here so we could grab Anna and get her over here to fulfill those ideas that she has, because like she said, we're in our infancy stage right now, but the plans that we have for this program, the behavioral health unit, which is what is being established, is basically modeled off of the Spokane BHU, and it is a great program, if I may just get into it for a moment. But so the behavioral health unit is designed for us to take a proactive approach to the mental health crisis that's going on in the Valley, which everyone will agree is the number one issue. So with Anna and Deputy Bruner, for example, who make up our BHU right now, they go out there and they take a proactive approach on it. Officers, deputies, they meet folks out on different calls. They actually go and follow up with these people that they have met on these calls. If they get to, there's kind of a 3 stages to this. So it's going to jail. If they do happen to go to jail for whatever reason, Anna and her team, along with the folks over at the Chelan County Jail, will work with their mental health staff and get into the jail while they're there to come up with a plan for when they come out of the jail. And so again, we're taking that proactive approach. Doing something to actually help them get the services that they need. And then the 3rd stage of that would be the follow-up. And so that's where Anna, again, with her team would come in, and then they do the follow-up to make sure that they are following, getting the services they need and that they're not forgotten about. And so with doing that 3-stage, the proactive approach with her and her team coming out, going to calls, being on call when they're needed, we're actually able to nip that one where we can and keep them from having to go to the hospital or the jails. And that's the plan, get them the resources they need to help them.
From a civilian standpoint, at what point is it, I'll call 509-663-9911 because this really is an emergency, or I need to call 911. From a general civilian, if they observe something just in their daily walk of life, at what point does I got to call 911 because this could be a problem?
Oh, we absolutely encourage everyone to do that. The faster we can get out there, the faster we can get Anna and her team of the services out there to actually help out. So if you see something, if you see something, say something, let us know that it's going on so we can get out there and get these folks help. Every minute it can be crucial, especially when it's getting cold outside. These types of things. The faster we can get out there, the faster we can get these folks help. So very important for people to when they do see something, to give us a shout.
I'll ask you last question for Adam. It's the same question I ask Anna. What's a good day for Adam Musgrove at the Chelan County Sheriff's Office? What's a good day for you?
Good day is my phone doesn't ring. Is a good day, but no, a good day for us is hearing the success stories of what Anna and her team are doing with the behavioral health unit, with Deputy Bruner and Anna getting out on the street, and they come into my office and give me the debrief of what took place. That is a good day for me. Every day by day, how to eat an elephant one spoon at a time, and that's what they're doing right now. They're at infancy stage trying to build this program up, and they are really doing a great job. They are really doing great work out here, and the support from our commissioners, our sheriff, the local agencies here. We're going to get all of these agencies in the Valley involved in this, and it's going to be a one-team effort here. It's just starting infancy stage here, but we're planning on big things with all the agencies in the area.
I'd like to do an update maybe early next year.
Absolutely.
I'd love to have you in on this again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
There is an answer, folks. We can break the vicious cycle, and this is a part of it. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Merry Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Merry Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Merry Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Merry Maids today.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
This holiday season, let Wild Birds Unlimited help you deliver something truly special to friends and loved ones. The gift of bird feeding. Even if you can't be together in person this year, a busy backyard bird feeder will bring a little smile and a little connection with you. We're here for you with safe, convenient shopping, whether it's in-store, at curbside, or when you order online. Wild Birds Unlimited. Joy delivered.
ColorFX has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. ColorFX has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call ColorFX in Cashmere today. And we are back at it here on this Monday, the 13th day of December, 2021, 31 degrees. The snow is pretty much tapered off, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley. About a little over an inch of pretty wet snow, and now all the side streets are pretty much starting to melt away a little bit. It's a little slushy and glushy and gloppy in some locations. But outside of that, things have been improving quite a bit. There were a lot of accidents this morning on the scanner, and there's still some slick roads and sidewalks, especially if you go over bridges. You know, the ice has a tendency to stick around a little bit longer than that. So again, we don't want to gild the obvious lily, but a heads up. If you're going to be out and about, you're going to be still dealing with some slippery roadways, especially on the side roads. But we're going to be warming up to the mid-30s today, so it's going to melt. As far as this week's weather, in a nutshell, looks something like this. Still some light snow in the mountain passes, but really not too bad. The passes themselves have improved a great deal in the last hour. There's now no advisories or restrictions on I-90, for instance. So light snow in the mountain passes, the occasional stray snowflake here in the valley Monday and Tuesday. The real story is going to be we're going to get really cold by the middle of the week because we're going to have some clear skies and very little cloud cover, so the blanket won't be on. So we're going to get chilly. We'll be down to the teens for the overnight lows Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, going to be cold. And then the next round of snow looks pretty good Friday night into Saturday. The snow we're expecting this weekend, the last weekend in autumn, is probably going to be more snow than we just saw over the last 4 or so hours. So, without further ado, here we go. Lots of clouds today. The winter weather advisory that we're under right now is due to expire at 11 this morning. As I already mentioned, here in the Wenatchee Valley, the snow is pretty much done. It's all but tapered off. It's already beginning to melt away a little bit. 36 for our high today, 26 for the overnight low tonight. Even though the snow level is going to go down to 800 feet, doesn't mean anything because the storm system that's coming through right now is going to be gone, Johnson, by the time we get to overnight tonight. Tuesday, quite a bit of sunshine, light wind, more snow melt. We'll get up to 35. Chilly overnight low Tuesday night of 20, 21, 19. Those overnight lows are getting down there. Intermittent hit and miss snows. It's not going to stick around until we get to Friday night into Saturday. There's a pretty good chance we're going to have some measurable snow that may very well stick around a little bit come Saturday. the odds are it could happen. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We'll know more as we get closer to the weekend. And that's it for us. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.